So with that, though, I'm going to turn first to Namit. I'll say that as an American, we've seen some interesting times now with a rollback of environmental regulations, the potential of an erosion of our climate ambitions and our commitment to Paris Agreement, our commitments to, for example, LGBT rights or rights of workers in the workplace. And it's an interesting time. So I think that as we consider a blueprint for SDG leadership, it'd be really worthwhile to hear from you on how a company who's aspiring to be a leader should also be considering their obligations to society.
Thanks, Caitlin. So straight away delving into the point that you raised, and I think the 5 leadership qualities that we just looked at, and I think I would start by the intentions. And I think the point that you made, Caitlin, was about, what are the kind of intentions do we need as business leaders to be able to deliver on SDGs. And what we have seen so far, it's about looking good, or looking as a good leader takes a priority than acting as a good leader. And I think that's where the problem starts. And we have highlighted the issue of companies trying to cherry pick the sustainable development goals and just trying to be in their comfort zone. And I think that's where the problem starts. And I'll just give you an example where at the World Economic Forum, when global business leaders were kind of ranking the top risks that they think are affecting businesses, inequality was among the top. But when it came to a business survey looking at sustainable development goals, it became the least important of the goals, which kind of shows that there are double standards and a lack of intention when it comes to tackling some of the risks that businesses are aware of. So I think that's where we want to start, and we want to focus on the fact that if you want to really act as a responsible leader, it's important to start with identifying what kind of impact your business is having and not just looking at what are the opportunities out there. And this morning, I think some of the media coverage of this conference had a headline of, it's a $1 trillion worth of opportunity for businesses to engage on the SDGs. And that's very worrisome, because with that sort of a headline, you'll get all the wrong types of businesses engaging and in getting interested in the SDGs, who are not talking about the impact, but about the opportunity. So it's really important to start with looking at what are the impacts, how do you engage the stakeholders in defining what is material for the companies, which goals are material for the company, and not starting from what are the opportunities there. And I mean, and the last quality on the accountability. So once we have the right kind of intentions, and it's also about being seen as a responsible business leader and acting like one, it's important to be accountable. So making sure that we have the right kind of information out in the public domain, whether it's the policy, which is a starting point, but also at the action level, what kind of mechanisms are in place, what commitments has the company made, and where is the company moving forward on those commitments. So I think looking at transformative business models of how business will be addressing the SDGs is really important. And often the question of, some of the goals coming in conflict with profits and scale is something that most companies kind of complain about. But there are several examples where some of the companies have been really responsible using business models that share the value among the value creators. And we have an example of Amul in the country, which is one of the largest milk cooperatives in the world, and is sharing the value with all the milk producers. So therefore, it is quite possible to have impact and do that at scale, as long as you have the right kind of intentions and you're accountable to the right kind of people. So I think I would stop here and hear if there are other comments.